Good morning. Welcome to the webinar on the dList linear heat sensing system suitable for the industrial application. Request you to switch off your microphones and cameras now. So today we are going to touch on linear heat sensor cables. What is linear heat sensing cable? Challenges with the fire detection system, specifically in the high temperature environment. Fire codes and installation best practices on the similar kind of application, our offerings, Securiton offerings, and few of the important references. This is me. My name is Rohit Modawal. I am from India. I have an experience of more than 20 years. I'm working as a director marketing in India office. I'm responsible for the different countries, including India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, and Maldives. So let's go and talk about linear heat sensing cable or linear heat detectors. Both are same. So linear heat detection or linear heat sensor provides fast and reliable detection of fire or overheating. It is suitable for use in most environments and it is unaffected by the airflow, hazardous chemicals, or contaminants, and for all other areas where traditional detection types may underperform. Traditional detection, I am talking about your heat detector, conventional or addressable, or smoke detectors or multi-criteria detectors, because they have certain limitations. LHD or linear heat detector is a continuous line type fixed heat detector. It is capable of detecting heat anywhere along its length. Whenever you want to detect anything along the length, the heat detector is suitable. It is often described as a continuous chain of individual spot detectors. You can see below the picture. And LHD is available in multiple temperatures. So there are different technologies available. There are different temperature settings available if you are using linear heat detection system or linear heat sensing cables. Slight ambient temperature changes can have the same effect as large localized temperature changes. So you can go for a vast application here. Let's talk about some benefits of linear heat sensing system or linear heat detector. There are many benefits, one of which is a continuous source of heat detection. It's the complete cable is a continuous source of a detection. They are also very durable and long lasting, so maintenance is not a problem here. Spot heat detectors do not offer the continuous field of detection of LHD cables. They don't hold up very well and can be easily damaged because they are exposed, and the linear heat sensing cable is basically it's not exposed. So fewer false alarms and false suppression discharge with confirmed temperature initiation. Detection device works with the fire alarm system interface and modules that identify source and temperature of hazard. Easy installation and maintenance. As I said, you can go for any kind of application, maybe below the ground, above ceiling, or lift shafts and all. Any kind of installation you go, and you can easily maintain because there is no exposed parts. It provides hazards coverage at every point on the cable for maximum protection. It is available in variety of lengths, cable coatings, and alarm temperatures for maximum flexibility. Wide zone area monitoring, you can do a wide zone area monitoring, and most importantly, it is not only the temperature monitoring system, it can monitor live temperature as well. So you can use these cables for the detection as well as the live monitoring of temperature system. So as I was explaining where to use heat detection system or linear heat sensing cables, it is ideal for areas where electronics may not be the best choice and early warning of heat detection is required. So these devices are particularly appropriate for areas where installation or maintenance access is in physical demanding or hazardous areas. So means if the areas where you will not be able to install your point detector, LHD is the right solution. So LHD is also perfect for where fire detection is required in close proximity. If you take an example, it is in closed area where it's easier to run a cable than place a thermostat or sensor, means the other heat sensing devices. Let's talk about applications. So we have various applications here. You can use cable in power plants. You have cooling towers. You have cable trays. Cable trays you will find in most of the applications. There are a lot of conveyors available, transformers available, electrical apparatus, and the solar panels. Everything is available in the power plant. Then you can go and install in petrochemical, where you have oil and gas fuel storage, liquid fuel storage tanks, gas storage tanks, wet benches. You can use in large warehouses, ASRS warehouses, or refrigerated storage warehouses, where the temperature is also a challenge. You can use in other applications like hangars and terminals in the airport. You can use in road tunnels, cable tunnels, utility tunnels. You can use in metro tunnels. You can use in industrial machinery, used in bridges, any kind of platforms, vehicle system. We are doing a couple of projects uh, in India and other parts of the country where we are protecting engines of the buses. So vehicle system is one of the application. Textile is one of the application. Food processing plant is one of the application here. So we will touch on few of the applications, and we will try to find out what is the challenge and where we can put our linear heat sensing systems there. So if you talk about cable galleries or cable trenches, so the important application is to secure cable trays, which may be overhead or buried. Single or multiple lengths, means cable trays or cable trenches may be of multiple lengths as well. The main cause of fire is in the few of the industrial applications are overheat of wires. Overheat of wires, or you can say overheat of cables as well, which eventually results in the fire. Sometimes big fire, huge fire. In many cases, there is more than one type of cable is used for a particular application. If you talk about the most common cable trays used are power limited tray cables, instrumentation tray cables, metal clay tables, optical fire tables, cable trays, or in the organization you will find a lot of communication cables. It may be of CMP, CMR, CMG, CM, CMX, and even the fire alarm cables. So there are chances of fire because of these cables. In some of the applications, the use of extended run rated cable, cost of installing conduits, and even the cables. So if sometimes the people are compromising quality and using this kind of cable, so many the fire took place because of the overheat. Once these cables actually are connected directly to the machine, so anything goes wrong with this cable, the machine will also come in fault. Linear heat detector or linear heat sensor provide protection from extended runs. It gives early overheat detection. It can give you early overheat protection. If you talk about transition from horizontal to vertical run, it is nothing but it is a cable management system with lot of pros and cons in both types. It is always cause overheat. So chances of fire is always there if you are using this kind of uh, uh, management system. Then uh, we can go to other slide and talk about conveyors. Conveyors you will find in many of the industries. So conveyor system in general have a fire risk due to external events and equipment failures. However, the flammable nature of products, including the ability, it in some time or some type of it is self-ignite also because of the material which is going on the conveyor. It can also self-ignite. Most of the industrial applications have different kind of conveyor. Can have rotten roller bed conveyor. If you talk about roller bed conveyor, you have a lot of this kind of conveyors available in industries. You have flatbed conveyors which takes the coal or the food material. You have modular belt conveyors because sometimes you have to put multiple things on that conveyor, so you have a modular kind of conveyors. Curved belt conveyors as well, sometimes in the industrial application, and everything is on pulleys. You can see the right hand side picture, everything moves on the pulleys, and because of this friction, the chances of fire always there. So we can protect these. If we can protect these pulleys which carry the conveyors continuously, we can take care of the fire incident. So important, one of the important application is in conveyor is our solution is linear heat sensor. Then it is the most reputed companies. If you steel cables as well on the conveyor. So sometimes this steel cables also, and then fire chances occurs. Sensor, it is a robust detector. It is suitable for all kind of harsh environments. It can be installed inside covered conveyors or on the pulleys. Detector can be used to activate deluge systems as well. So you can see the top picture. You will find how we install our linear heat sensor on or down the conveyor belts. Then the other important application is transformer. So transformers are very important part of any industrial application. So you will find transformers in each and every application. It can be, it has their own fire detection system, operates only when fire comes breaks up. So if fire breaks up, the business continuity will affect. Okay, so our system or the linear heat sensor gives you a detection when the transformer started to become overheat. You will get to know the temperature, because if you are using the temperature monitoring system or temperature monitoring cabling with the heat detection, then you get to know exactly which part of the transformer is on fire, because the heat will rise, and you are monitoring live temperature on your screen. So so linear heat sensing system play a very important role. It gives you pre alarms and then alarms. It gives signals to your fire brigade also, to your third party system. These cables are weather resistant. You can use for the internal transformers which are inside the building, or you can use these cables on the transformer which is outside the building. As I said, it detects overheat, allowing not to the not shut down. So you can in at very incipient stage take preventive actions and douse fire, so the business continuity will not affect. Another application is your warehouse. Warehouse can be of uh, ASRS warehouse with multiple levels, or it can be a deep freeze warehouse or cold storage. It is mounting directly on the deluge system. Okay, so freezers handles a variety of materials, including food, including your wooden pallets, baskets, boxes, which contain foods inside it. Fiberboard containers, egg cartons, waxed papers, clothes, and different kind of material which are prone to fire, which can get fire due to any external reason or internal reason as well. or because of the overheat of wires as well. So if you see in this case, the LHD system can be mounted directly to the deluge or sprinkler system, as I informed you earlier. You can install detector on the load beam in the flue space where you find a flue space. Flue space is nothing but it is a clear vertical line from the floor up to the ceiling within rack storage area. You can see on the left side of the picture. There are two types of flue spaces. If you talk about these are transverse flue spaces and longitudinal flue spaces. And linear heat sensing system can be installed in any kind of flue spaces. You can please never mount these to the rack sprinkler pipes because it will disturb the efficiency. Okay, now the another one is recycling plants. So if you talk about recycling plants, you must have heard of in the recent years, many recycling plants have had fires due to various external events and equipment failures. External events means the fire is not by the equipment or by any malfunction. It was by the external uh, maybe from the people, or somebody has put something inside this recycling plants. So these events and failures have caused combustible waste products to be ignited, and this sometimes, and you have a lot of waste material. Waste material can be of many types. It is food waste product or the paper product. Uh, you know, then the proper system need to be there, which can gives you the uh, event information at very incipient stage. So here we recommend to use linear heat sensing system. Another application is your cooling towers. So the chances of fire is because of the kind of fill and the electrical fan motor on the cooling tower. So LHD or linear heat sensor can protect and detect the same. Both the electrical fan motor and fill. Fill is basically can be of any type. This is a fill which has maybe a foam or maybe a wood, and because of malfunction of the cables or something, it can the fire can trigger. Okay, because it is very easy for a fan motor to catch a fire because of a lot of electrical equipments involved. Wood fill is again a combustible material which can have fire at any point of time. So the other common problem for the cooling towers are this biofilm and the fouling dirt, and this biodirt and the fouling particles are also there in the environment, and it also uh, is a cause of fire sometimes. So you can install these linear heat sensing systems on the cooling towers to avoid or to protect the fire at very initial stage. Then the other application is your floating roof tanks, where you know because of the friction, the chances of fire is always there, and oil itself is a combustible product, so the chances of fire is always there. The chances of fire is because of the lightning strikes as well, because these are more premises. So the lightning strikes is one of the major cause. Then you have sparks produced by static electricity. Okay, because it is always floating, so the static electricity is always be there. So the chances of fire is always there. If it is not detected and controlled in time, believe me, the fire will be immense. Fire will be huge. And once there is a fire on oil tank, cannot stop. It is just like a bomb. It will definitely explode. So we need to detect fire, or we need to detect heat at very incipient stage. Uh, there are different kind of tanks available. You have cone roof tanks, you have fixed roof tanks, you have uh, conventional tanks. So there are many kind of tanks, but the solution is only linear heat sensing system. Then we can talk about infrastructure tunnels. There are a lot of infrastructure tunnels available in industrial application. These basically infrastructure tunnels are basically are the underground passages used for transportation. If you are trying to send some food material or some raw material or some coal or some other material which is used for the production, you can always send from this infrastructure tunnels. There are chances of fire because these infrastructure tunnels are not meant for any day-to-day use. So you have a lot of material which are kept there, which are prone to fire, and there are always chances to fire. Uh, the main reason we can't put any other fire detection is because of the restricted accessibility. We cannot access this kind of infrastructure tunnel in day-to-day basis. There are a lot of wind available. Humidity is immense. There are a lot of humidity, and not least animals and other birds. They are always present there. So you have to have a system which is robust and don't require any maintenance in this kind of environment. And linear heat sensing system is one of the most suitable product for this kind of application. Then there are machines. You can talk about machines. You have LHD system. If you talk about, is perfect for machines, uh, because see, machines it run always. There are different kind of dust available. The weather conditions like your infrastructure tunnels are also not adequate. You have a lot of humidity uh, inside the machines, or you have lot of dust particles, which, and if you use some kind of other detectors, it will always give you false alarms. There are aggressive atmosphere because it is always outside, and every means outside for all 24 hours 365 days. Electromagnetic interference is also one of the issue. So the cables type which you have to select should be of the right type. You cannot use digital kind of cable here because it can give you electromagnetic interference. There are a lot of oil in air, so the other detection system are not possible. So the best system which is available here is again a linear heat detector. And we can talk about food industry, food production plant. So food production, food plants needs a special kind of fire detection always. Linear heat sensing system is suitable for this kind of application because you know uh, see, there are different kind of mechanical faults are anticipated in this kind of environment. There is always a heat. If you talk about, let us take an example of a fryer or a chips manufacturing plant. You will find a lot of oil in the atmosphere, heat which is always present, and it's a fluctuating. You will find steam always. You will find a food dust in the environment always. You can do a lot of cleaning here after the production stops. There are different kind of cleaning required. It can be of a spray cleaning, water cleaning, or cleaning with chemicals, and oil is always present. So if you talk about the other detection type like your smoke detection system or aspirating system, it is not possible because you have holes inside the detector, and because of all these food dust, oil, it will always gives you a false alarm. So right now, if you talk about the best solution available is linear heat system, and if it gives you address, then it is an added advantage. There are different kind of factories available. Factories are of different kinds. The linear heat system is always important because, you know, if you see uh, these kind of chemical or steel factories, the access is again a problem. You will not find a clear space where you can put a detector or a conventional detector. So you need a system which is robust and which can be, what you say, you can easily bend this product because it can go, it can run zigzag. So the linear heat sensing cable, if you use, you can, do different kind of bends and install very correctly in this kind of environment. There are, as like your uh, processing plant, in this kind of application, the environments are also extreme conditions. You have a lot of dust, you have a lot of interference, electromagnetic interference, you have a lot of heat. So the normal system, the normal detector is not possible. Animal farms, you have a very aggressive atmosphere in the animal farm. Uh, there are heat always present. Chances of fire from the air conditioning is also there. So you need an early detection, and linear heat sensing system is one of the suitable product for this kind of application or solution. Now let us go and talk about challenges. So if you talk about challenge, if you talk about the challenges is with the fire detection system, you have a lot of electrical hazards, you have flammable chemical and gases, you have access restriction areas. You already saw in the industrial application where the manufacturing plant is there or the steel factories are there. So a lot of access restriction areas, frequent cleaning and maintenance, a lot of combustible materials and dusts are there, a lot of heavy machineries. Vehicle movements are very frequent. Hot work or frost is always going on. Since it is open to the environment, rain and moisture also play important role. And it's a challenge to put a correct fire detection system there. You have a lot of dirt and dust. You have a lot of insects, animals available there. You have different kind of vibrations, and vibrations or also gives false alarms if you are not using a proper system. So these are the few challenges which the fire alarm system for this particular kind of industrial application is there. Let's talk about the fire codes and installation best practices. NFPA 72, same as applicable for heat detection system, is applicable for linear heat detection system as well. You can check your, local standards, country specific standards, because sometimes the country specific standards are different as a centralized standard. There are some guidelines. You please do not make a 90-degree bends. All bends should be made by hand without the use of tools if you are installing linear heat sensing cables. Do not overstretch the detector runs. Some wire or sag between fasteners is normal, no problem. Do not over tighten the fastener, as this may compromise the outer jacket or crush the inner insulation. All fasteners must allow the wire to expand and contract with temperature changes. Do not use wire nuts. All connections must be made via compression terminals and or manufacturer approved splicing devices. You will find the devices specifically for the specific uh, manufacturer. Do not leave it on the floor or step on it or set ladders on it during installation. Do not place it where it will be subject to mechanical damage by equipment processing. Do not paint this detector as per the approved requirements. Always install with manufacturer approved fasteners only. All the manufacturers, they have the maintenance or manufacturing guidelines. So you should follow these kind of guidelines. Recommended solution. Let's talk about the solution right now. So as I said during my slides also, the recommended solution is multi-point line type heat detector. And if possible, use the addressable one so that you will get to know from where the heat is generated. You can go and douse the fire at the very incipient stage. You can use temperature sensor, which is listed, which is one of our offerings, which can give you the address as well as the live temperature monitoring as well. Few of the example advantages are programmable response time per sensor, big length, exact localization, sensor position is physical determined. It is for harsh and difficult environment, accepted by all the fire brigade and authorities. And the response class is EN54 part 22 and for non-integrating. So you can use our cables for the live temperature monitoring. Sensors are programmable. Each and every sensor you can give a different temperature settings. Now I can talk about Securiton dList product and component, which is basically our offering. Okay, so we offer you a linear heat sensor. The model number is called dList. The cables are called SEC15. So right hand side you can find a controller, and left hand side you can see a cable which has chip inside. These are temperature sensors which you will find all across the cable length. I will touch on this kind of sensors advantages in my future slides. The middle one is the connection boxes. Wherever you want to connect your detection cable with the normal cable, you can use this connection boxes. Okay, so as I said, these cables are resettable cables. It may be used for early fire detection or as a temperature monitoring instrument. As I said, they are applicable even in harsh environment. The capacity of manifold branching and direct object monitoring with a fixed sensor, it gives you strength to move these cables in any kind of environment, any kind of application. You have sensors between the cables, and these sensors are programmable sensors. The spacing of the sensors are 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter, 4 meter, 5 meter, or 10 meter. Or if you have a special kind of application, or if you have a project where you need a specific distance, let us suppose maybe 1.5 meter or 3.5 meter, this is also possible. We can make these cables as per your requirement also. There is a temperature sensor inside it. You have aluminum shield above it, and the resolution for this cable is 0.1 degree centigrade. So if the temperature rises by 0.1 degree centigrade, also it gives you immediate alarm. In the layman terms, we say if you touch the cable, if you hold the cable, sometimes it gives you alarm immediately. Okay. This is basically our controller. This controller is a temperature monitoring system. 2 channel per controller means 2 into 100 sensors or 2 into 350 meter. So this controller is suitable for 700 meter cable length. You can have multiple controllers if you have more area to cover. Find 2 general alarm, 2 general fault in this controller. 3 alarm is also possible. Maximum you can these tubes can be programmed for maximum alarm as well as differential alarm both, or of one. The combination, permutation and combination is possible. You can do up to 5 branches per channel. Per channel means 350 meter is one channel. So 5 branches per channel is always possible. Then you will have a Modbus or Modbus protocol. You can connect TCP on TCP as well. Up to 95 control units can be networked to a graphical user interface via RS485 or LAN, and up to 32 freely programmable zones is possible with this controller. As I said, measurement resolution is 0.1 degree centigrade, means it can give you alarm even if 0.1 degree centigrade temperature rises, or you can make this guy insensible, or you can, if you increase the temperature by 10%, it also not gives you alarm at very incipient stage. So everything is possible because these cables are programmable. Optional expandable relays cards with 16 available. Data logging via optional micro SD card. There is a slot available. You can put your SD card and then evaluate the incidents later on. You require a 24-volt DC power supply. Operating temperature is -25 to +70 degrees centigrade. IP65 is available. Response classes A1N, A2N, BN, and CN. Integrating response classes is also we also justify with this. Main components are main board. This is upper part of the housing, and the optional outputs are the relay card is required when you have different extinguishing system and you want to extinguish, then you need a zone based system. So these relays help you in planning the zone wise separation. Then SEC15 cables are connected, can be connected on different ways. You can see left hand side is our controller, right hand side is the cable. So the main cable can run only on the area where you need a detection. From the controller to the main area, we have a normal cable called CC15. You can run a CC15 cable. Then this CC15 cable can be connected to the CBO box, which is a connector box, and then from the connector box you can run a cable. So if you have a multiple areas to monitor, then you put multiple connectors in between and then run a cable to only a detection area. Then you have jointers. Then you have multiple, as I said, you can have multiple controllers in multiple connection boxes in between. Then multiple jointers as well. So maximum cable length, as I said, it is 2 into 350 meter. Sensor spacing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 meter. Maintenance free sensor cables, extremely low failure rate. MTBF is more than 68 years. EMC protection is there, and these cables have the flame retardant jackets. I will stop here for the question and answer. If you have a question, then we will have.
So Rohit, the first question is, what will be the maximum and minimum length of one sensor cable?
Of one sensor cable.
Sensor cable or sensor tube.
Okay. So if we talk about the length, the minimum 10 meters and maximum as per the EN norms should not exceed 115 meters. And if you are not following any norm, means I'm talking norm, then you can go up to 200 meters. So 115 meters as per the norm for one channel and 200 meters for one channel without any norm.
Good. The next question is, what will be the operating temperature range of the controller and the tubes?
Controller and the tubes. So controller and the tubes is basically the controller is -30 to +70 degrees, already informed you. And the sensor tube range is, see, sensor tube can be of three kinds. Here you can use a copper tube, you can use Teflon tube, you can use a steel tube, and the outer diameter is basically a 6 mm and 5 mm, and the internal dia is 4 mm. Here the sensor tube range is somewhere around -40 to plus 185 degrees.
What is the permissible height to install sensing tubes?
As per the norms, the permissible height is 7.5 meters. And if you have the height more than 7.5 meters, then it is always recommended to use level-wise monitoring.
Do we need to replace entire tube length once it's damaged in case of fire or any other incident?
No, you cannot. See, this slide. If there is a damage, you have different kind of connectors available. You have to just remove that particular length, and through the connector you can connect. Or if a sensor is damaged, then we have to only replace this sensor, and everything is field programmable. So only the sensors which are damaged needs to be replaced, and we have a different cutting tools. You can use those cutting tools and do it in at the site itself.
All right, so next question is, do we have any software to calculate and design the area and tube network?
Yeah, there are software available. There are software available.
So is it a Securiton software or is it from a third party?
It is Securiton. It is software from us only.
All right. Thank you. I don't have any questions right now, so please proceed.
Okay. Then you can check the installation bracket. Okay, so there are different kind of installation brackets depending on the kind of installation you have. Maybe you can use these cables on tunnels, inside the tunnels, conveyor belts, or transformers, or any other application. We have different kind of installation. Provide you the cable together with these installation brackets. You can see fastening this sensor cable with polyamide clamps to mounting profiles. You can see the left hand side picture. These are the clamps which used to hold the cable, and right side is a small kind of roller. You can see the different kind of mounting profile or clamp. Advantage of dList system is the measuring cycle is always 10 seconds. No matter what is the configuration, the cycle is 10 seconds. So every 10 seconds, it see what is the kind of effect it has. Sensor spacing with distances are freely selectable. As I said, 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 meters. And if required, we can have a customized cable also, depending on your requirement. Then the individual sensor identification by cable imprints. So on the top of the cable, you will find the imprints. So you can know the sensor is there. So you have to be cautious there. Do not bend that sensor 90 degrees. Otherwise, it is fine. Systems generally maintenance free, low commissioning and maintenance cost, because there is no on the field. You can just install this and forget it. As I said, the MTBF is also more than 68 years. So highly robust and maintenance free cables. No calibration. As I said, no software is there. So no calibration. It can give pinpoint spatial resolution in case of fire because you have sensors inside the cable. Right hand side, you will see an external sensor. External sensors are used later on when you installed a system, and later on you come up with any other protected area or a room where you want a detection there. Then you just need to puncture this cable, put a connection box, and at that particular area where you want again a detection, you just drop this external sensor. This sensor will take one address but give you information of heat. Differential and maximum temperature evaluation is possible, or the combination is possible, and individual is also possible. It is resistant to dust, dirt, gases, and vibrations, and even it is EMI proof. Electromagnetic interference is also not there. It can be used in X zones 2 and 22. We have ATEX approved products also available with us. The crimping tools are available. These tools are very installer friendly, specifically meant for these kind of cables. No specialists are needed. You can cut these cables on site, repair these cables on site. No limits to cut and repairs in our cables. High EMI immunity, tested and approved by heavy duty applications. We have a lot of installation in railway or power transmission where high EMI immunity is there. So it is already tested. Total flexibility, you can do different kind of branching in one cable. You can see this example. Certificates and approval, if you talk about, we are VDS approved. We have a local approvals for Malaysia. We have ROHS approval. We have DNV and GL approvals, and also pre-information that we have also applied for UL approval. We are expecting this UL approval very soon. For the countries where UL is mandatory, we will have this UL approved product very soon. Few of the references. We have done a lot of metro tunnels or metro stations. This is one example from the Düsseldorf, Germany, where we have installed our cables in the metro tunnels and even the metro stations, relay and telecom rooms, where they put their telecom equipments and relay equipments. We have garbage plants secured, heat monitoring for the conveying systems. There are a lot of conveyors inside this facility, so we are protecting pulleys of this conveyor. Heat monitoring at conveying system for the typical industrial application where the restricted areas are there. So this is one example in Germany. We have coal power station in Poland, conveyor belts which is carrying coal. So the problem with this kind of coal conveyors are because coal itself is a combustible material. So once there is a fire in a coal and it is going on conveyor, so coal is also moving together with the conveyor. So it is very important to get a address of the fire at the very initial stage. Then only we guys can go and extinguish it. So our Listec or our linear heat sensing cable is installed in this heat monitoring conveying system project. With this, I will end my presentation. Please join our LinkedIn, and I'm open for some more questions. If you guys have questions, please.
So we have a few questions left, Rohit, and the next is this an independent system or can be connected to fire alarm system?
Okay, see, as I said, we have a controller. So you can connect this cable to our controller, and then this controller can be connected to a third-party system as well. It can be a fire alarm system of any make. So if you are not using Securiton fire alarm panel, you are using some third-party fire alarm panel. Through the monitor modules of the fire alarm panel, you can connect these cables to the fire alarm panel. It can also be connected to PLC or a SCADA system. So through modules or through directly to building management system, we can connect these cables.
Do systems check the healthiness by any mechanism, or how can we know that there is a problem?
No, so inside this we have a pressure sensor. Okay, so pressure sensor always measures the absolute pressure in the sensor tube. If this pressure is dropped, it gives you signals immediately. So it is always continuously checking the absolute pressure in the sensor tube. And once it drops, it gives you signals.
How the sensor tubes are cut? Do we need any special cutters for that?
No, as I said, we have crimping tools available, and these are normal crimping tools you can find anywhere, or if required, we also offer these kind of tools from our side.
What will be the distance between two parallel tubes?
Okay, if you talk about EN, the distance is 7.2 meters. Between the sensor tubes, two sensor tubes, the distance should be 7.2 meters. And from the wall, it should be 3.6 meters either side.
What are the other applications for this product?
See, here all the application where normal detection is not possible. If you talk about access restricted areas, lift, escalators, above ceiling application, car parkings, and the areas where you need to know the source of fire at very incipient stage, at very early stage of rising of heat, then you can use this kind of cable. Or another application is temperature monitoring, live temperature monitoring. So if you have a data center where you monitor temperature, where you want to monitor continuously temperature, then you can use these kind of cables. The shafts from the where the cables are running inside into the data center, you can protect those shafts as well. So there are multiple application where we need to know from at the very incipient stage where is the source of fire.